Blog Talk Radio.
Lord Fame Mix.
They say when it rain and pour, I guess I'm getting wet. Single mom to three, but my life ain't about no checks. Consciously woke, so they can't hang my neck. So I bought my black fist up in the air like it's my last chance. They say when it rain and pour, I guess I'm getting wet. Single mom to three, but my life ain't about no checks. Consciously woke, so they can't hang my neck. So I bought my black fist up in the air like it's my last chance. Y'all ain't tired of this madness yet. Us as a people waking out the bed every day mad. Physically and mentally out here just killing each other. Not thinking twice about these weeping mothers, fathers, sisters, and brothers. We gotta do better. According to the imagination, we don't hold down each other. And so they laugh at us every time they hang a brother. Whether it be in jail or from a tree or 6 feet under, yeah. We the cursed ones, that's what the Bible says. And I'm just one so out here searching for that promised land. One thing for sure, another for certain. I will always put on one hell of a show, even behind the curtain. My life ain't perfect, it's far from easy. I just make it look like that. Trust and believe, people stab me in my back. They show real action. And I come back like the Lord doing resurrection. I love my family, and you can count on me. Yeah, I'm down to ride. I'm talking both sides for y'all. I will lay down and die. Middle finger up to the ones who think they got. Moment of silence for our fallen stars. They say when it rain and pour, I guess I'm getting wet. Single mom to three, but my life ain't about no checks. Consciously woke, so they can't hang my neck. So I bought my black fist up in the air like it's my last chance. They say when it rain and pour, I guess I'm getting wet. Single mom to three, but my life ain't about no checks. Consciously woke, so they can't hang my neck. So I bought my black fist up in the air like it's my last chance. Time is gone, and yet our oppressors, they steady hating. Time is precious, but it ain't patient. You wanna be a man? Well, build a home instead of a crib. Don't call them kings your boys, won't you call them all your men? Stop calling your guns a toy, it's just a tool to protect your fam. Ooh, I hate you, Willie Lynch. Follow the pain for change, and not the Twitter. It's now or never, so find out who was rocking with you. To the atom of this world, King Giver of life. I wanna know how we can make this right. I pray for y'all morning, noon, and night. Hoping the world will wake up and just make up their mind. It's time to realize with your real life. So much wickedness up in the skies, and I'm so fed up, but I am still hungry for some more. We taking back what's ours, it's time to train for the war. 400 years of slavery, we've been stuck up in these chains. It's time to dry off, no more worries, get out the rain. And ain't no excuses for the nuisance. Since back then, they knew what they was doing. We got some hard times. When it rain,
take this pledge with me.
Come on, brother.
Say with me, please. I say your name. Pledge that from this day forward, I will strive to love my brother as I love myself. I say your name. From this day forward, will strive to improve myself spiritually, morally, mentally, socially, politically, and economically, for the benefit of myself, my family, and my people. I say your name. Pledge that I will strive to build business, build houses, build hospitals, build factories, and enter into international trade for the good of myself, my family, and my people. I say your name. Pledge your name. Pledge. From this day forward, I will never abuse my wife by striking her, disrespecting her. For she is the mother of my children and the producer of my future. I say your name. Pledge that from this day forward, I will never engage in the abuse of children, little boys or little girls, for sexual gratification. But I will let them grow in peace to be strong men and women for the future of our people. I say your name. Will never again use the B word to describe any female, but particularly my own black sister. I say your name. Pledge from this day forward that I will not poison my body with drugs or that which is destructive to my health and my well-being. I say your name. Pledge from this day forward I will support black newspapers, black radio, black television. I will support black artists who clean up their acts to show respect for themselves and respect for their people and respect for the ears of the human family. I say your name. Will do all of this. So help me God.
In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most beneficent, thee do we worship, thine aid we seek. Show us the straight way, the way of those whom has bestowed thy grace, the way of those whom portions is not a wrath and have gone not astray. Amen. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Lord Business Show. The mission on their platform is to heal our people by having productive and proactive dialogues and conversations. It's no big eyes or little U's as far as the platform is concerned. If at any time during the conversation you want to chime in and add your 2 cents in, which is also always definitely therapeutically appreciated. If at any time you want to chime in, just press 1 and we'll receive you with open arms and warm embrace. Tonight we got another powerful show and conversation for y'all tonight. Tonight's topic is understanding and defining the rules of revolutionaries and activists of today. When we think about activists, revolutionary, back in the day, like some name popping in here, you'll think of a Malcolm X, a Martin Luther King, Stokely Carmichael, Booker T. Washington, so forth and so on. Like the list goes on and on. Like when we think about activists and revolutionary, even like Che Guevara, like our Cuban brother. So, but the reason why this topic was posed, and I don't know if y'all follow us on Facebook or whatnot, however you came across the platform, but we had posted like a description in one of the posts pertaining to this topic, but it was like it broke down a foundation table, so to speak, that we are kind of building off of and from. Like, think about it back in the day, and I'm young myself, I ain't but 30, but we think back in the day, like early 90s, late 80s, or even probably before that, like going into the 50s, 60s, when we were introduced, we saw the militant, we saw the revolutionary, we saw the activists, like our people were standing up, like in the mean to fight for injustice, fight for equality, fight for land ownership, fight for our rights and voice to be heard. And when we analyze like the core, the main driven factor, I ain't gonna say a driven factor, but it accommodated the main thing when we saw our brothers and sisters on the front line, whether they had the bullhorn or whether they was on the corners or whatever they were passing out newspapers or something. We gotta think and go back and look at that time from the perspective of how they were and what they were going through with the tools and resources that they had at that time. They were before the social media area. They were before the social media era. They were before all of these different communication devices. Like, you communicate with a person across the world in the game right now, but they were before that access and that world, enormous world of different people was open to the simple people like us. But back then, the message, I ain't gonna say the message, the premise and the reason, like one was on the front line, one was on these at these churches, one was in the pulpit, one was in the byways, highways, so forth and so on, was to get that message out. Like, they fought us to wake us up, and they was out there on the front line, whether they was educating us with who, like when we think about the Black Panther with the WIC program and the right to action with the political part, making sure we knew and understood the political representatives in our community. All we look at what Margaret Garvey did in his time in the early 30s, late 20s or 40s or whatnot, the brother was able to build an international movement, African for the Africans, without social media. Had a military, a whole army of people without social media at the time. Like, when we think about the work that the old brother put in, even somebody like Elijah Muhammad, we think about the work the E brother had to really hit the ground. And we look at a situation like Rosa Parks wasn't even able to lie to sit in front of the bus or whatnot. We think about like transportation. We think about resources to be able to send people to these different places to speak, to get the word out. They wasn't showing us no love right like that, especially when we think about COINTELPRO and a lot of situations like that. They didn't want us woke. They want us docile and comatose and forever dependent. So these brothers in those early time, they fought, and by the grace of God, they was able to deliver their message. They was able to afford to be able to travel to deliver their message at a time before social media and what they was able to accomplish during that time. And we fast forward today, we got so much information at our fingertips. We got so much resources at our fingertips. It's so easy to communicate with somebody in Africa right now over social media. We can have a conversation with somebody in China right now over social media. It's so easy, but the question then is, like with those brothers back then and sisters back then, Harriet Tubman, Sister Angela Stone, pardon me, I know Sister Soldier, like we had a lot of these sisters and brothers, and at that time they was able to do what they did and get a following, get the people involved, or create a plan of action at a time before social media. And we look at like, man, let's be realistic and let's be optimistic. Like, can we be fair in our constructive criticism? Can we approach this conversation without no apology, without nobody feeling like we talking about you or talking down on anybody, but they'll just speak the facts on what's going on. Like in the day of time, we see movement that sparked up, like New Era, Detroit, Atlanta, whatever. We see movement like Black Lives Matter. We see other new movement. But let's be real. Like movements, organizations like the Nation of Islam, Moorish Zion Temple of America, Hebrew Israelite, a lot of those for our people. It's a reason those organizations are still kind of standing today, as opposed to the newer, and they can't even really hold the torch to a lot of these newer programs can't really hold the torch to that, because there's so much work and so much history went in those guys building those programs, and they built those programs during a time where it was face-to-face marketing of that. They really had to get out there and touch the people. They really had to get out there and let the people feel the sincerity in their message. You can't really be sincere, or the person you can't really get that sincerity or that genuine connection over the social media, over the airways or whatnot, like how those brothers and sisters were able to do it back then. So in this topic, in this conversation, that we definitely get one-on-one opinion and insight and intake into the call. We want to analyze like what was not what was, but what can we do in this day and time, or what do we need to be doing in this day and time to be able to not necessarily compete, but pretty much do something to that extent, create something everlasting, create something positive, proactive, and productive for our people. Like, what can we do in this day and time if ones and one don't want to join something already existing or pre-existing? What can we do, or what are some of the techniques that we should be focusing on to better accommodate that, or better transitioning us to mobilize our people to do some of the same thing that we've been trying to do over the last 100 years, post-slavery. But as we get into solutions, fam, I'm going to play a clip from the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. And y'all hear what that brother say.
When I am dead, wrap the mantle of the red, the black, and the green around me. For in the new life I shall rise up with God's grace and blessing to lead the millions of the heights and the triumph that you well know. Look for me in a world when there is storm. Look for me all around you. For with God's grace, I shall come back with countless millions of black men and women who have died in America, those who have died in the West Indies, and those who have died in Africa to aid you in the fight for liberty, freedom, and life. Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. They gave leadership to our foreparents, and that leadership made them slaves. But we have decided to find a leadership of our own to make ourselves free men. Our great scholars have passed through the colleges, the universities, have thrown away the blessed record. Babylon did it. Assyria did it. France under Napoleon did it. Germany under Prince von Bismarck did it. England under America under George Washington did it. Africa with 400 million black people can do it. If you cannot do it, if you are not prepared to do it, then you will die. You race of cowards, you race of imbeciles, you race of good for nothing. If you cannot do what other men have done, what other nations have done, what other races have done, then you had better die. Can we do it? We can do it. We shall do it. We have prayed to God for vision and for leadership. And he has given us a universal vision. A vision that will not limit our possibilities to America. A vision that will not limit our possibilities to the West Indies, but a vision that said there must be a free and redeemed Africa. Christ the crucified, Christ the despised. We appeal to you for help, for succor, for leadership. When you endeavor to carry your burden up the heights of Calvary, when white men scorned you, when white men scorned you, when white men spat upon you, when white men pierced your side out of it, blood and water gushed forth, it was a black man in the name of Simon the Syrian who took your cross and bore it up the heights of Calvary. And now that we are bearing our burden, it being so heavy, we just ask that you just help us on up the heights. Oh, yes, the cause is grand, the cause is glory. Surely we shall not turn back. Oh, sail on, sail on, sail on, almighty ship of state, sail on until the flag of the red, the black, and the green is perched upon the hills of Africa. Because the time has come for the black man to forget his hero worship of other races and to create and emulate heroes of his own. We must canonize our own saints, create our own martyrs, and elevate the positions of fame and honor black men and women who have made a distinct contribution to our racial history. Sojourner Truth is worthy of a place of sainthood alongside of Joan of Arc. Crispus Attucks and George William Gordon are entitled to the halo of martyrdom with no less glory than the martyrs of any other race. Toussaint Louverture's brilliancy as a soldier or a statesman outshone that of any other people. Hence he's entitled to the highest place as a hero among men. Because Africa's created millions and countless millions of black men and women in war and peace, whose luster and bravery outshone that of any other people. So why not see good and perfection in ourselves? We must inspire our literature and promulgate the doctrine of our own without any apologies to the powers that be. That right is ours and God. Let sentiments and cross opinions go to the winds. We are entitled to our own opinion and are not obligated to or bound by the opinions of others. If others laugh at you, return the laughter to them. If they mimic you, return the compliment with equal force. Because they have no more right to dishonor, discredit you in manhood than you have in dealing with them. Honor them when they honor you. Disrespect and disregard them when they vilely treat you. Their arrogance is but skin deep, an assumption that has no foundation in morals or in law. They have sprung from the same family tree of obscurity as we have. Their history is as rude in its primitiveness as ours. Their ancestors were running wild in living in trees of branches like monkeys as ours. They made human sacrifices, ate the flesh of their own dead and wild meat from beasts for centuries, even as they have accused us of doing. Their cannibalism is more prolonged than ours. When we were embracing the banks of the Nile, they were still drinking blood out of the skulls of their conquered dead. After our civilization had reached the noonday of progress, they were still living in holes with bats, rats, and other insects and animals. After we had already unfathomed the mystery of the stars and reduced the heavenly constellations to minute and regular calculus, there were still backwoodsmen living in ignorance and in blatant darkness. The world is indebted to us for the benefits of civilization. They stole our arts and sciences from Africa. Then why should we be ashamed of ourselves? Their modern improvement to be reflected and resurrected by our generation and our posterity. Why should we be discouraged if somebody laughs at us today? Who's to tell what tomorrow will bring forth? Did they not laugh at Christ, Moses, Muhammad? Was there not a Carthage, Greece, and Rome? So we see and have changes every day. So pray, work, be steadfast, and be not dismayed. Because as the Jew is held together by his religion, the white race is by the assumption and the unwritten law of superiority, the Mongolian by the precious tie of blood. Likewise, the black man must unite in one grand racial hierarchy. Our union must know no clime, no nationality, but let us all hold together in every country, in every clime, making a racial empire upon which the sun shall never set. Let no voice but your own speak to you from the depths. Let no influence but your own rouse you in time of peace and time of war. Hear all, but attend only to that which concerns you. Your allegiance shall be to your God, your race, your country. Remember that the Jew in his political and economic origins always first the Jew. The white man is first a white man under all circumstances, so you can do no less. Be black, buy black, think black, and all else will take care of itself. Let no one inoculate you with evil doctrines to suit his own conveniences. Charity begins at home. So first to thyself be true, and thou canst not then depart to no man. Because God and nature first made us what we are. And out of our own creative genius, we make ourselves what we want to be. Follow always that great law. Let God and the sky be our limit, and eternity our measurement. There is no height to which you cannot climb without the active intelligence of your own mind. Mind creates, and as much as we desire in nature, we can have through the creation of our own minds. And today, being scientifically the weaker race, you shall treat others only as they treat you. But in your homes and everywhere possible, you must teach the higher development of science to your children. And make sure that we have a race of scientists par excellence. For in religion and science lies our only hope to withstand the evil designs of modern materialism. Never forget your God. Remember that we live, work, and pray for a binding racial hierarchy, whose only natural, spiritual, and political limits shall be God and Africa at home and abroad. With God's dearest blessings, I leave you for a while. One love.
Brothers and sisters, Marcus, Mosiah, Harvey.
Yeah, y'all welcome back to the Lord Business Radio Show and broadcast. I wanna to kind of reflect on the first clip we opened up with that pledge by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Like, that was a powerful pledge. Like at the end of the Million Man March, when that brother had gave a presentation and speech, and he delivered an eloquent demonstration. Like a million people in the audience was in the trend. Like the brother, when we made that pledge going forward what we got from that first Million Man March, and just reflect on that. That still feel like today we still got to make those same pledges. We still got to continue to be all worse and better credit on ourselves. We got to continue to take that initiative, doing what we require for our people. And I want to reflect on that clip we just played with Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. And going back to what I was saying, the brother created a movement before social media. The brother created a call to action, and just to hearing that speech, I was just like the brother was speaking like this right on the heels of slavery, right up in down the time, right in that time frame. That was able to create a international movement for our people, and going in conjunction with this topic, family activism and revolutionaryism, like if that even is a word. In this day and time, with social media, it kind of can be a gift and a curse. And we also got to factor in our youth and our people. During those times, we had a lot more youth in the communities and the streets are more involved in sports, extracurricular activity. Nowadays, a lot of our youth and people are in the house playing video games, playing like it. It's more people in the house than it was when we were coming up, and the generation before me coming up. And those being outside, those interactions, and that kind of created a pool for people to pick from, in a sense, or gave a platform for people to come and talk to people. And from a marketing aspect, I do marketing in my business, so it's like with marketing, it's two types of marketing. Like right now, you had, I ain't gonna say two types of marketing, but the two of the main effect of marketing is face to face, and also you got advertising like with products and stuff. But more than like a lot of times, people's word of mouth and people experience with a particular product or something, and they share that with other people that have more effect than what the people see on the billboard or ad. So that being said, when those brothers and sisters was on the front line, shaking hand, kissing baby, like in the nitty gritty of the street, like going like being like Jesus amongst our people, going into the place with all the vices, going into the place where the devil might be, you know what I'm saying, domiciling it, going into the old places. Our people went and they talked to these people, they ministered to these people, they did follow. It was so, that created a bond, that created a whole connection with the organization to those people. Fast forward today, like with social media, it kind of crippled us, and also with the condition of our people, it's like we have limited bonding with people through social media, but in some cases, it might be, you know what I'm saying, in some cases it have been different. Some cases are like that, needle in a haystack, or like that diamond in a rough. What I mean by that, like movement, you know what I'm saying, it still kind of got me on the front line in that day and time. Like my brother was killed in 2014, and I had a void in me, in my chest and my heart. I was thinking about retailing. I was thinking about a whole bunch of things, and I ended up going to the meeting and ended up, which ultimately led to me becoming involved with a movement by the name of POS Movement, People Organizing Peace Systems. So in the movement, and what I learned, it kind of took me out of my comfort zone. Sometimes we don't even like to talk to people. It kind of, even though we in the South, sometimes it be like that New York feeling. We don't want to get close to people. Like we say, hey, how you doing, and keep it moving. But the movement kind of took me out of my comfort zone. Kind of gave me, I was able to, I ain't gonna say I was able, I was removed, you know what I'm saying? I took my blame, I took my shame from this, I took myself out of the equation. Like, man, you know what, this ain't even about you no more. It's about our people and better than our people. And once that became my reality, and going back into the needle in the haystack, and with this situation, the movement during that time, like right, I want to say it was right after Trayvon, our brother Trayvon got killed with by the Zimmerman guy, and it was a whole outcry from the black community across the world. Like, the movement kind of was a solution to that at that time. It was one of the solutions, and a lot of people got involved based on finding a way to channel their energy. Like, when it started happening synergy or synonymous like that, it created a different type of effect. In that case, you know what I'm saying, we was able to create bonds with different people across from different highways and byways. But that's not all the case in every situation or scenario. Like, and for the most, and when we looking out into this day and time, like, that's not always the case. Like, you might talk to somebody, or somebody might come to you and present their case, or okay, we got this movement or whatnot, but it's no follow-up. It may be a follow-up, but it may not agree with your spirit at that time, because it's like we always in our mind waiting on something. You feel like I can be doing so much more with my time, and also the money and economics is a factor in this day and time on the revolution. A lot of times, our need to be to appear successful kind of stunt our growth on the front line. So, not to further get off topic, all this connected, family, but to kind of stay within that box and scope of the topic when we're talking about revolutionary and activism. When y'all think about activism or revolutionary, thinking about somebody on the front line. You're thinking about somebody speaking and standing up for all people. You're thinking about somebody willing to do your bidding for you. Or you thinking about somebody you can trust. You thinking about somebody on your side. And this day and time, it's a real different, because we got so much communication and access to resources and different information at our fingertips. We got so much access, whereas back then we were forced to be face to face. We were forced to have those difficult, not necessarily difficult. We were forced to have those intimate conversations with our people, which further, in my humble opinion, strengthened those bonds that we had amongst and with our people. Nowadays, you can, with social media, like I said, it's a gift and a curse. A lot of ones say that it's so, I ain't gonna say it's so easy to get lost in what's going on. You can see a flyer, you can see a post, you can see a whole movement going on, and you don't know whether it's a fake movement or a catfish situation going on or not. There's so much scandalous, so much scamming going on social media, so much people doing all of this to get your money and run off on you. Like, when you hear about a situation like I once felt about the brother Polite or Sarah Suseta, a lot of them ones, they felt like they were sending them money thinking it was better than their situation. These brothers were pretty much lying in their own pocket. And we end up with different situations coming out of that. We end up with different backlash. Like, by the old person, the old people, when they fail or when they do some fucked up to our people, we pay the penalties for that. It kind of like what Malcolm said, we have been bamboozled, ran them up, led astray. A person that bamboozled or people that feel bamboozled or people that feel distrust of what's going on because people are always preying on them, people preying on their ignorance, people preying on their downfall. It's so easy to not want to trust those type of people. It's so easy to not want to stand up for your people because you want to put the blame on somebody else misdeed. Like, man, I don't know if they're going to really get to the people or not. And you probably don't have the time or the indignation to want to do that for yourself or do that for your people yourself. So, man, it's a whole lot of gray area in this family. And also, I'm gonna say that before we get into a short break, if anybody want to come into the conversation, I see we do have a few callers online. If y'all want to come in and speak your piece and get in the conversation, just prayer one, and we'll receive you with open arms, saying love and truth and peace and blessing. We're gonna we're gonna get into a quick break, a real short break, and then we're gonna come back. Look like we do have someone in queue with us, family. Y'all just bear with us for one moment. We come back from this break. You know what? I'm gonna play that clip again. You know what I'm saying, that we open up with. But I definitely just get that spirit, get it back right in here.
Take this pledge with me.
Come on, brother.
Say with me, please. I say your name. Pledge that from this day forward, I will strive to love my brother as I love myself. I say your name. From this day forward, will strive to improve myself spiritually, morally, mentally, socially, politically, and economically, for the benefit of myself, my family, and my people. I say your name. Pledge that I will strive to build business, build houses, build hospitals, build factories, and enter into international trade for the good of myself, my family, and my people. I say your name. That from this day forward, I will never raise my hand with a knife or a gun to beat, children, little boys or little girls for sexual gratification. But I will let them grow in peace to be strong men and women for the future of our people. I, say your name, will never again use the B word to describe any female, but particularly my own black sister. I, say your name, pledge from this day forward that I will not poison my body with drugs or that which is destructive to my health and my well-being. I, say your name, pledge from this day forward I will support black newspapers, black radio, black television. I will support black artists who clean up their acts to show respect for themselves and respect for their people and respect for the ears of the human family. I, say your name, will do all of this. So help me God.
Yeah, peace and Lord, y'all. Welcome back to the Lord Beating It Radio Show and broadcast. Like I said, it looked like we did have a call-in queue. Caller 2. Peace and love.
Oh, peace and blessings, love and service. Family, how you doing tonight?
Man, all is well, all is well. Blessed and highly favored, my big brother, sir. How you doing?
And I'm blessed and highly favored as well, family, man. I've been, listening in and, taking in everything that's been being said. And I must be honest with you, brother. You spitting some real truth, man. And it's like it's exactly what it is that I need to hear right here at this very moment. When I'm looking at what is it that's going to grab our people's attention, especially in poverty-stricken America, what is it that's going to grab the attention of us who was raised affiliated with street organizations, street tribes, and the gangs? Like, what is it that it's going to take to get our people activated and involved in something that's greater than themselves and their selfish ambitions, to come up out the hood and the ghetto, to be able to make it through and still have street credit and fame, and to be able to, somehow muster some form of appreciation, through all the selfish and self-centered ways that they're taught. And so, brother, I just want to thank you for tonight's discussion topic, and the lesson been real. And so, I got my pen and paper, as of course you always mandate that we do. And as I come here to this radio station with my pen and paper, it's encouraging to see how everybody is beginning to see the need to be involved and a part of. The things that you posed tonight, speaking about the Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. As I read these brothers' autobiographies and learned about how Marcus Garvey was so fundamental and monumental in his ability to use the soapbox theory as far as getting up on the stand and capturing the ears of the people, just by being able to speak light into certain situations that was going on in our enslavement. His ability to do that was so profound, man, and the people began to join together and began to unite all across the nation and all across the world, and this man wasn't even from America, so he traveled from Jamaica and came through and did what he did. But it's like, man, you know, brother, I'm questioning, and I keep questioning myself about the same thing. Like, how can we use social media to get people involved? And is it possible? And you know, honestly speaking, man, I know it's possible because, you know, I look at what you brothers did and what we did collectively through the Pops movement. How many people actually was coming out because of the call that was being made through social media? Like, that was huge, man. That was big. And to me, it's a testament because, man, we did a lot of that from, you know, a point where, man, people, we was in prison. You know, and a few of y'all that was out there in the streets, like, we didn't know a whole lot of people, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, some superstars.
Yeah, your phone going in and out, bro.
Y'all gathered down in that spot with friends, you know, in the South, like when y'all went. So, man, I know we can affect change, but, you know, I just wanted to ask you, like, you know, what do you feel like was the biggest movement and demonstration that was created right on social media, and the people actually came out on time and in time for a change to happen?
Yeah, peace and love, bro. You still with us?
Yeah, I'm with you. I had just asked the question. Did you hear the question?
Nah, your phone had went out.
I apologize for that, family. Y'all know I'm in a very dysfunctional situation, but I'm functioning through it all. Yeah, man. I was wondering, like, what do you feel like was the best example of someone using social media to create a very strong movement and creation? You know, that brought out, you know, 1,000 people, or like what we're seeing right now through the Mississippi movement with the guys behind the walls and Jay-Z taking shape, you know, and actually filing a silver suit on the Mississippi Department of Correction. Like, what do you see as being done to create the type of mass movement that people are actually getting involved with through social media?
Yeah, peace and love, bro. And, like, before, if you would ask me the question like a couple of years, ain't no telling what my response would have been. But now, it's like, because I was such a devout follower of the Honorable Malcolm X, you know what I'm saying, High Shabazz, but it was more so I kind of, in my mind, it just kind of like with Tupac situation. I was a fan of Tupac, so when Tupac kind of went out against somebody, I kind of, in my own spirit, I kind of felt against that person, not necessarily on no beef, but I felt like they weren't what I was standing for, if they was against. Bro, the same thing with Malcolm X. I felt like if one went on the side of Malcolm X and what was going on, I felt like they went to business. So I kind of, in a sense, I kind of overlooked the Nation of Islam. Like, I don't think I go inside the mosque or whatnot. I don't plan on going there, but you can't really take that with a grain of salt. With Elijah Muhammad, you know what I'm saying, Malcolm X they passed on the Minister Farrakhan what they was able to do through the nation. And I feel like, answering your question, I don't think that a movement born out of social media is going to be more effective than a movement that was already established and used social media to complement it. What I mean by that, even with, if we take our movement, Pops movement, yeah, we was able to spread, like going back, we said, like, just being clear, you know what I'm saying, clear and looking at it from observation. We all scientists and historians, like, looking at, like, what made Pop movement effective because we had different gangs and different organizations coming together to kind of they felt like they wanted to speak, I wanted a platform to use, and our platform just happened to be that platform. And we brought different gangs, street tribes, what we say in different arts together to share in our platform. But that being said, it was already established organization. Like when we look at the G, we look at the moles, you know what I'm saying, the Peace Stone, we look at the Vital Law, we look at the Bloods and Crips. They was already, quote unquote, for lack of a better terminology, we'll say already established organization. So when we went amongst the leaders like, hey, we doing this unity walk, we doing such and such. Okay, leaders, you know what I'm saying, they probably pass the message down to some of their students or seeds or whatnot, and we was able to create have a nice turnout at these events. But as far as on the totality, it wasn't like with a movement like that started from social media. We ran into the problem of delegation. Like if a person got time to be on the phone in these meetings and stuff like that, and in the building phase of the movement, 9 times out of 10, if he don't have the experience or leading people have the experience they're required to do the job that's needed to effectively complement the program. Even myself, when I took on that leader position within the movement, I was inexperienced. I didn't really know what the hell I was doing, but I knew what I knew what needed to be done, and I did my best. But that being said, like a lot of people, how many people that when we look at a lot of these movements, that ain't humble, ain't transparent enough to admit, you know what, man, I fucked up. Like I need help. Like a lot of people let our ego get in our way, whereas we not able to see that. So I don't know what I'm saying to further express my answer though. I say the Nation of Islam because man, like that movement has stood the test of time. Like they stood the test of time. Like even the movement, like that's some old potent and legit, you know what I'm saying, solid organization that was started back in the 20s or 30s, probably even before that. They're still running efficiently today. I don't care what one say, whether you might not go to the mall, you might not agree with Muslim or Islam ideology, but we gotta tip our hats. Like as a black man, we gotta tip our hats out to the Nation of Islam. Whether ones feel on that fence like I was about the Malcolm X situation, but no, brother, even in our demonstration out on Power Movement, 10,000 Fearless and some of those brothers from the FOI came to the demonstration to beat our monster. So I see them. I liken them to the most effective in the sense of they would be that example for me because what are they doing? And when we analyze what they got to offer, like these brother started off on a rehabilitation program. That we really got to rehabilitate our people. Then we can fill them up with their knowledge and wisdom and whatnot. We continue to pour into that and following up and educating our people. But that take time and that take people. It's hard to do something of that magnitude with only a handful of people. And we got to have people in those positions that we trust. Ideally, a situation like that will start with a family where you build that from the family aspect, and we just continue to and stand our family. But I don't know if I answered your question or not, bro.
Yes, sir. Most definitely. That was a strong elaboration on exactly what it is that I was looking to hear. You know, man, I just want to continue to commend you, brother, for opening up the type of platform that we can not only just learn from, but also be able to internalize, because all of us want to go to our grave knowing that something lives on in the life that we've lived. Who wants to die and didn't accomplish anything, for the greater good of our people? And so, brother, I just want to commend you and definitely congratulate you on such a successful platform. And let's keep finding ways to teach our people, educate them through the means that they are willing to embrace and accept. I learned this right here, and I'm going to shut up. They say one of the greatest tools of teaching, our people in today's generation is by allowing them to look, listen, and learn without even being known that they are picking up what they're picking up, because they want the credit, for being able to comprehend and understand certain things, and they don't want to have to be able to, have a teacher or a leader. And so, with this type of way of looking at it, like, we have to find ways to lay the truth right there in a box and allow them to open it up and capture it and be able to claim it, as their own. And so, with that being said, brother, you're definitely doing these things for us all, and I most definitely love you for everything that you are sacrificing to make sure it's done. Peace and blessings, love and service.
Peace and blessing, love and service. It's all love, bro. I love you too, man. And we are coming up on that hour to the listening audience too. I'm gonna come back around to you, bro, for closing remarks on the topic or whatnot. But I wanna say this to the listening audience and to the one that may come across this broadcast via the Blog Talk Radio link on YouTube when they go up on YouTube. But I want to share this with y'all, like what kind of keep me grounded and what kind of keep me rooted. Because on these front line, it do get weary. It can be depressing when it feel like nobody ain't listening to you. Not necessarily you trying to force your words on anybody, but when you got the vision and you trying to build out your vision and nobody don't want no part in your vision, it can be discouraging. But I shared it with you guys and what kind of helped me get through. Like I said this a few times on social media, on a couple of the airways I've been on, but it's a story about by Marcus Garvey. It was told, it came out of the book by the name of the book is Rastafari, but it's a black book. I forgot the guy's name that wrote it, but it's a black book with a heavy face Rasta brother, heavy face brother with dreads on the cover, kind of drawn out. It's kind of like a drawing, or illustration, kind of cartoony on the cover, but basically, it got a lot of inserts, you know what I'm saying, or excerpts, whatever you call them, excerpts or insert, like, throughout the book. But it was speaking on this excerpt from this young sister. She was giving her accounts of Marcus Garvey. It was around the time Marcus Garvey that came back to Jamaica. He was trying to establish UNIA chapter local in Jamaica, his home of his birth. But it kind of like he had that Jesus stigma amongst his people. What I mean by that, you know how Jesus was when he came back to Bethlehem. Once and one looked at him like, shit, man, that's just Jesus. We know that nigga right there. Like, man, y'all say they're the son of God. You know how we do to our people. But so that's how Marcus Garvey would kind of perceive when he came back to Jamaica. So what their brother used to do, he started establishing me. He say, okay, just hypothetically, like using their platform, like, man, we saying we finna meet here every Sunday at 7. The brother would get there 6:55 on the dot, you know what I'm saying, put a cane in the ground in front of him and put his hat on top of the cane. And their brother say for instance, the brother say, you know what I'm saying, the meeting gonna be like 30 minutes. So, okay, he gonna be at that time promptly. Sometimes he went over, sometimes he didn't. But all the while, he got every meeting, he got a cane in the ground and his hat on his cane in front of him, like it's a member of the audience. So the sister, she was telling the story, like her encounter, she was like, she'll walk to the store, walking through the park or wherever the brother was speaking at. She'll walk through or something. She was like, she'll stay about 5 or 10 minutes or something, and then she'll leave or she'll just walking through. But she told it like months, times. He was like, it was that time when nobody was out there. Like the brother was just out there speaking to himself, speaking to his cane on that. But he was giving an eloquent, a profound lecture to himself, to the cane on his head. Man, that dedication. She was like, and we all know the history and story of Marcus Garvey, so we seen what he was able to do. through history. So that brother, he stayed consistent, and Jamaica end up listening and taking heed, and a lot of people end up becoming interested or becoming involved with the UNIE chapter in Jamaica, and just by being consistent, like being consistent will get you a long way. And if I don't take anything from that story, I take consistency, and like we say on the street, you got to stay down until you come up. Like that brother stayed down, held it down, like no matter if nobody showed up, that brother still out there promptly speaking to his hat on top of his cane and continue to live in the good gospel to their people. And sooner or later, people realize their brother for real. Like that on Gundy phrase, I forgot what it say, but it started out first, they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then you win. You got to go through all those stages or whatnot, then you win, man. It's just, first they're going to look at you like you crazy. I felt crazy and picking up trash and I felt crazy doing a lot of stuff, but then it was like, you know what, like, it's bigger than me. Like, Lord, if you want to use me as a vessel, however, you know what I'm saying, just to show somebody else that it can be done, like, use me. And I leave it at that point. If we get ready to go back to our brother, you know what I'm saying, let our brother get very close. We're going to get ready to close that thing out to earth. Shit. Brother Ace, you with us, family?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can you hear me, family?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear now.
Yes, sir, man. Peace and blessings, man. I definitely want to just continue to encourage, everybody to, don't just tune in, but actually begin to internalize what it is that's being shared. When you think about what it is that's being provided here, some people, they'll listen for a little while and then they'll shut down. But the question is, how can we get involved? How can we get thoroughly involved in living? And in order to do that to this greatest capacity, we must unite and link up with others who are living their life to their greatest ability. And it starts somewhere. I remember one time my old mentor told me, he say, when a student realizes himself as a student, a teacher will appear. And when I become a student, there's much around me to teach me. And so, family, let's look at this as an opportunity to not only, learn, but also to take what it is that we have gained thus far and share it. Sometimes the only thing we can share is our experiences or things that nobody else will want to have to deal with or do. And so that's where the basis of our platform always comes from. The foundation comes from what it is that we done went through, and we give a chance to share with others, whether it's the best or it's the worst that we have experienced, man. But in it is a lesson and a blessing, man. I love y'all very much, man. Peace and blessings, love and service.
Peace and blessing, love and service, man. Y'all heard it here live tonight, man. We're going to continue to do this every Sunday. Like right now, we're on a core run. Like we're going into the second month. We're going to do like topics like this that we can teach y'all or whatnot. And going into the third month, we're going to start getting guests probably two other Sundays out of a month. So y'all stay tuned for that as well. And without further ado, we got to close. Like we open in prayer, we got to close out. We're going to close out with the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us of our trespasses as we forget those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, the power, the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Y'all stay tuned to the next episode on Sunday, same time. You heard? Peace and love.